While serving as a Marine Corps logistics officer and an anti-terror force protection officer, I had the opportunity to serve in both Asia and Africa. My task was to provide logistical support for infantry detachments of 2 units, 300 and 150 Marine units respectively. I also served as a team leader aboard HSV Swift, which is a dual-hulled aluminum catamaran. And our objective was to provide combat lifesaver support and infantry instruction to partner African military forces. There was a port stop in Congo that I observed a freighter being loaded up on a nightly basis with pristine timber that must have been 20 yards wide. The Congolese were chopping down their pristine forest, thousands of years old, so that they could earn a profit or earn a paltry sum in return for shipping their pristine wood to China to turn into lumber or turn into furniture so that they could sell it to Europe and the United States. Now, other nations in Africa have done this too, and to greater extremes as well. Togo is found in the armpit of Africa, literally and figuratively. The country, which used to be rich in natural resources, is now a complete and total pit of misery. I actually saw it myself. And they used to have a ton of rainforest wealth, and they cut it all down and turned it into furniture, presumably. They consumed the rainforest. The soil is now barren and the people are completely impoverished. Basically, they turned in their natural resources chips for fiat worthless money, and now they have nothing to show for it. Maybe it sounds familiar. Brazil, like Congo, is a nation rich in natural resources. The Amazon rainforest accounts for 20% of the world's oxygen supply, and the Brazilians are burning it to the ground because our current capitalist system incentivizes the consumption of these natural resources instead of the conservation of it. These are timeless natural resources, and they're being turned into perishable consumer goods. Now, while Togo is a small nation, Congo and Brazil are larger and larger still, accounting for over 20% of our world's oxygen supply, and it's not just happening there. We're slashing and burning natural resources all over the planet. And if we don't correct our economic systems to reward these nations, to restore and conserve their natural resources, and oxygen levels decline as a result, we're all in big trouble. Look, liberty is clean air, but I should add that if the air doesn't have oxygen in it, it's not going to help us very much. Liberty is fresh water, but fresh water is made from healthy soil, and healthy soil is made from trees and shrubs that are growing on the fertile land. It's the trees and the shrubs that create the healthy soil that give us the clean water. Liberty is healthy organic food, but without the clean air and the fresh water, we're not going to have any healthy organic food to eat. Liberty is money that holds value over time, but we can't live off of worthless paper money and gold. We can't eat either one of them. Our money needs to be tied to the environment. We can and we do live off of clean air, fresh water, and healthy food. And it's our responsibility to protect our livelihoods. That's what we do in the military. So by aligning our money with our environmental values, and our economic system must encourage the conservation and restoration of the environment, of our natural resources. Liberty is a constitution that's applied evenly to all people at all times by default and without exception. And it enables our ability to live a happy, healthy, wealthy life. But we can only do that if it's in concert with nature. If we don't have clean air, fresh water, and healthy food, we won't have a constitution to protect us. It's nature which affords us our constitutional liberty in the first place. Now, our current president does an awful lot of talking about making America great again, but he doesn't do a lot of walking. And maybe we should consult his doctor. It's probably because of his bone spurs. I don't know. This election really is the most important election of our lifetimes. And the reason why is because, we can continue down the path of authoritarianism, We can continue down the path of consuming our natural resources and destroying our constitutional rights, or we can choose liberty, and we can choose to do the right thing for ourselves and the planet. To do that, we must align our economy and our system of government with the golden rule, with love, liberty, and nature, so that it works for all living beings. Liberty is clean air, fresh water, healthy organic food, money that retains value over time, and a constitution that applies evenly to all people at all times by default and without exception. And we need to protect our nature. We need to protect nature in order to protect our liberty. Look, when life itself depends not on oil, but on clean air, fresh water, and healthy food, our military strategy and our economic system better damn well be in support of those objectives. The good news is that it's not too late to restore liberty in America. It's not too late to prevent America and the rest of the world from turning into a barren wasteland that doesn't have any oxygen, clean air, or fresh water in it. There's still time to take action for liberty and justice for all. So join me on November 3rd. Let's end the Fed and go green instead, so that we can create a credit union that is clean, green, citizen-owned, and fully transparent, so we can get off of oil, out of oil wars, and invest into renewables and organics and split the profits with the people instead of with the bankers. Vote Joe McHugh on November 3rd to restore liberty in America, because liberty is what makes America great. Thank you, and Semper Fidelis.